Hi everybody, this is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group and the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group and the Sweet Pea Papers coffee shop. Now, today we're going to be doing my design team project from LineDotArrow called Signed, Sealed, Delivered. And we're going to be using the Signed, Sealed, Delivered kit, obviously, and also the Signed, Sealed, Delivered add-on. Now the kit, you can go to Natalie's YouTube channel, which is LineDotArrow, and she'll have a complete flip through of the kit and the add-on. This month is a little bit different as far as the challenges and stuff go. I guess I'll tell you that first, because instead of having a new challenge every week, we're having a challenge for the month, and it's called Challenge Your Art. And what we're asking you to do is make something, whatever you want, with the kit and the add-on, if you want, or the anything in your stash, or a combination of both. There's no freebies this month, just the two kits and whatever you want to use out of your stash. Now, we are going to have a drawing just like as usual. So if you use the kit or the add-on, or just say Signed, Sealed, Delivered, papers, kit papers, in your post, make sure to do that when you post your pictures and stuff. Or you don't have to say anything if you're not using any of the papers. Just use the hashtag Challenge Your Art in your post. If you use the kits, then you'll get 2 entries into the drawing. If you don't, you get 1 entry into the drawing. So either way, you get a chance to win. There's 5 Facebook groups participating, so you've got 5 chances to win, because you can only win once in each group, but you can win in more than one group. So you have a total of 5 chances. Pretty cool. So let's see what else. I keep saying the word so. Yeah, what I was going to tell you about the kits is Signed, Sealed, Delivered is mostly ephemera in the form of stamps and tags and cards that look like postcards and things like that. There's some tags as well. There's also a couple of collage pages. Now the add-on, ironically, is mostly collage pages. There is some more ephemera, but it's mostly the papers. So you might, if you're not sure what to do, you might want to get the add-on first. That's my opinion, because you've got all the papers and everything, and then this one has all your stamps and stuff like that. And you don't have to print out all of them. I printed out a page that has quite a few stamps on it, just on one page. And then I've got this postal ephemera. And then I also have some regular ephemera. I have all these little trays. You guys know me. And I have the little LineDotArrow piece of ephemera that I always try to use somewhere, or use so that I remember what project it was. We've got a couple pockets. We've got a bunch of tags, some of which we can decorate. We've got more postcards and letters. Okay, so that's for that. So that's most of the ephemera came from one kit, and that's going to be the regular Signed, Sealed, Delivered kit. And then these papers, which if you go to Natalie's, like I said, YouTube channel, you get a full flip through. I'm not going to do a flip through. And so that's that. Now, what I thought we would do, since it is called Signed, Sealed, Delivered, and it's a postal theme, is that we would use some envelopes. Duh. But we're also going to use manila folders. So the idea behind this whole thing is to use 2 manila folders, which we're going to cut down. These are legal size. That's all I have right now. Then we're going to use some envelopes, and I got out my crafts envelopes, my red envelopes, and because of the red in the postage, like for example in this collage page, and let me show you this one too. Well, most of them, right? They have red and blue. So I've gotten out my red envelopes. I've gotten out some cream envelopes that we can ink. And then I also got out this one big white one that we can cover with craft paper and ink. And then I think we'll be all right with that. Yeah, I've also gotten out some stamps. And what I got out is this one with... because I thought this looked like when you get a stamp that they mark off the weight and whatever, and then it's also just kind of goofy. Then I've got this other stamp here, and then I just like all these big numbers together, so we got that one. I've got this one out for borders. Get this one out for illegible text, just what looks like writing, but you can't read it or anything. There, that way looks better. Then I also got out some texture so that we could use probably this, well, this looks more like burlap, so this looks more like gauze along the edges of the folders when we stamp. We're not going to stencil really in this one. I don't really have any stencils that would go towards, well, I probably do. But I just got 30 new stencils from Temu, and I probably already had over 100, so I've got to go through and sort them, so we're not going to do that now. And I've also gotten out some craft paper, okay, which I just got in for another project. Yeah. So here's my big stamp mount, whatever, and then here's my regular one. I've got a long skinny one too that I should probably get out if we're going to do borders. Then I have a stamp pad, which is always nice to have a cushion when you're stamping, and you'll get a better stamping result. This is just a mouse pad. Let me get my long skinny acrylic block. That's what we'll call it. I've got one that isn't frosted. Hold on just one second. I'm on my way. Da, 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 da. I'm on my way. So we've got this block too, which needs to be cleaned. All right, so those are the things we've gotten together to work with. So the first thing we want to do, if we're going to make this the main envelope in the front, I got out the lumberjack plaid and the faded jeans. You could also use Uncharted Mariner if you wanted. Uncharted Mariner is a really strong color, and it kind of gets everywhere, and lumberjack plaid is the same way. I used Uncharted Mariner and lumberjack plaid last year for my Christmas themed project. So this is a really good Christmas red. So we're going to use those two colors, and that's why we're going to ink, you know, this, and I think we'll be fine with the craft paper on it. Except I want it to still look like an envelope. So I want it to still be white. What is that? Okay. Let's see. Got another one. See if I've got one without a spot in the middle. No, there's one's got a spot over there. What is the deal? Ta-da! Finally. Now I'll probably drop the ink pad or something on it. So I thought we would kind of focus on envelopes. Yay! You know I love envelopes for this project. And we've got, like I said, our craft paper to use and the kit paper. So the first thing we want to do is this. Oh, and we've got these craft envelopes, and they're really big. So I want to use quite a few of these. So we're going to cut them to size for whatever we're going to use them for. I hate to do that, but I don't have any smaller envelopes that are craft. The smaller ones are red, and I've got, like I said, I've got some cream colored ones. Here's some craft ones that aren't the darker craft. So we want to take this one, and we are going to have this on the front. So, and this, I'm going to leave this on, I think, to make it look more postal, or take it off and stick something around the edge, but still leave the flap on. Okay, usually I take the flap off, but I think this time we'll leave the flap on. So we want to have space around the envelope, and I'm thinking not just the space like a border, but actual space. So I believe this is 6 or 6 something. Yeah, this is a 9 by 6 if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, this is a 9 by 6. So I think if we went with 8, that would be good. That would give us an inch on either side. And if we went with 10 at least minimum, then we would have enough around the top. I'd like to try to cut some so let's go, I want to cut some tabs. So we've got 6, 7, let's go 7, and then 8, so we can draw in our, add our tabs on. Okay, so we want it to be 8 inches wide by, let's say 10 inches tall, because we've got these big tall envelopes too. They're a little bit more than 9, so let's say 10, and then we can use some of these envelopes without having to cut down every single one. We might do a small envelope stack in the front, which would be kind of fun, and then do a 1 or 2 manila envelope, kind of a bookish part in the back, or a folio part in the back. So let's take this, and we said, gosh darn it, there's my little pad. A little pad of paper that I use to keep track. I think we said 7 by 10 is what I think we said. 7, this would be wider because we want to put the tabs in. So that's going to be 8 by, yeah, I think we wanted to go 10. When we use our stamping or whatever, you can see it as well. And we've got those envelopes that are a little bit longer than 9. So I think that'll work fine. So let me stick this somewhere so I'll remember what we decided on. So let's do this, and remember you want to cut so that you still have the fold, obviously, in here. I've got a big giant mess. Let me move some of this out of the way. Can't work with all this mess. Okay, So we're going to make it 10 inches tall. Don't forget to save your flap, right? And then we want it to be 8 inches wide. Well, we almost have a tab. It's awfully big. Let's do 6.5. It's going to be 7.5 instead of 8. Let's try that. It just looks so wide. Seven and a half by 10. Then we're going to need to save a tab. And in fact, we'll save this one too for pocket making. And maybe stomach's growling. I'm expecting a text to an important phone call, so I may have to put you on pause at any given random time. So let's take this, let's put our scraps over here with the scraps, and these tabs are the same size, right? Okay, so now let's take this if I remember correctly, we want the gussets to be on the back. So we're going to take this and make a tab. We're going to draw it on. So line it up with the top edge of the tab, the top edge of the tab, even with the edge of the manila folder that you have left. Okay? And then we will get our fuzzy, so we need to dust. Make our tab. Okay, now you're just going to want to cut it out of the front piece. So you're going to want to open it up and get out your scissors and cut out this little notchy part. Then we want to cut out our okay. Very bad tab, but there it is. Okay, and then on the folders in real life, let me look, because I think it gets cut off. Yes, when you have the big one, then the other side is shorter normally. So we've got our tab, and then we should make this side equal to this here. Let's not get too carried away cutting things off. Let's just make it even. So that way there's no flat side sticking out longer than our tab. Okay, then we're going to go in and we're going to take our corner rounder, and not the notch and not the tab, but on the other two corners we're going to round those corners. I think I could do this one a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we're going to do the same with the other one. Only we're going to make the tab at the top. Tracing very well. Okay, and then remember to keep these scraps. Cut this one off. And then, as you guys know, I'm going to make you take a break and stamp and ink. Oh, look what I just did. I just did it on both. That will never do. I was talking and not paying attention. Okay. We said 7.5 by 10. Well, at least we'll have an extra flap. Okay. Let's try that one more time. And I specifically said, open up the folder. Where's my... open it up. It's got a little notch instead of a little curve. Run it around the other two corners. Oh, we gotta cut this first. Okay, now we need to figure out what, if anything, we want to cut on the folder. So we could take one of these and fold it in half and make a pocket out of it. Where they join together. Instead of making a big pocket on the side, we could make a pocket coming down. So let's we could make a really big pocket by not, if we fold it in half. I'm trying to think here. If we fold it in half, then we can, what? What can we do? All right, let's cut this and make our flaps on this one. And then let's see. Do we want them even with the tab here? It might be all right. How many inches is that? 7 1/4. And we'll draw a line just up to the gusset line, the third one. That doesn't look straight. And let's do it Okay, so we've got 10. What if we did it at 6.5? Then we'd have 3.5, and then we would have 3 inches on our flap. Okay, let's do that. Let's do 6.5. Seems awfully big for the bottom one, doesn't it? Let's do 5.5. It's not 5.5. It's 4.5. Okay. We'll cut this one here. We can still make this bottom one a pocket and the top one a flap by simply cutting a little bit of space in between so we have a little bit of a gap so they're not so right on top of each other. So let's just take a little bit . And cut straight up to the line again. And now we're going to take this piece right here and we're going to cut it off. Okay. That will give us our pocket and our flap here. Fold it at that third gusset line, not where the factory fold is. So the factory fold is here. Go over to the third gusset line to the right and cut it, and then make a notch by cutting out, I don't know, an 1/8 of an inch in between. Okay, then on this one, remember the bottom half has to be the pocket to this. So this is just going to be attached together like that. And then on this one, I think what we could do is we could what if we folded this? I keep thinking fold. Like, well, that wouldn't work unless we had a third one. I don't want to do a third one with an envelope stack on the front, even though we're going to be a small envelope stack. Let's, I don't know what I want to do. We could just leave it and then just make a big book area here. Yep. So then let's ink this, you know, all the way around in your folds on both sides. On this side, you're going to do the fold down the middle, the fold here. You're going to ink that. You're going to ink around, you know, the cut and around. Then you're going to want to stamp something. I swear I had one with postage on it. I can't think of what stamp it was. Anyway, you want to stamp along here, and then maybe and then along here as well, so that you have a border. I think I'm going to use text on mine. I think that's what I'm going to use. No, I was going to use the texture along the edge. And I want to do that in blue. Yeah. I'm going to do the texture in blue. And I wonder if I should do the more open weave. This is awfully tight. You know, I don't want it to just look solid, like I just stamped a big solid stamp of, you know, whatever. I may look at my stamps some more and see what else I've got. This is more open. It's just so small to stamp around the outside of everything with all the overlapping. All right, I'm going to look at my stamps and see what I've got, and then we'll come back after I've got all that done, and then be sure to ink this in either blue or red, whichever color you want to do. I'm going to do it in red because I'm doing all this in blue. Okay? So that's just totally up to you, whatever color you want. You can take the flap off if you like and have just the envelope. In fact, if we're going to do a stack, is this going to be in the way with the folded envelopes? No, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. It's the longer one. I had some envelopes once that had shorter ones and it just looks silly. So I think I'm going to leave the flap on. So I'm going to take this paper. You don't want any of that plastic sticking out. Okay, so that's that. So get your inking and your stamping done, and then I will see you back here. Okay? All right, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so now I've got my stamping and everything done. I added a piece on to the pieces that we had already decided that we were going to make. When you use the stamp pad, just put it here, you know what I mean, and just stamp like that. So that's all there is to that. But plus we'll probably use that again. I've taken the white envelope and stamped it. I accidentally stamped it on the wrong side, so that's why it's stamped on both sides. But stamp both sides of your flap completely, okay? And then, because I'm going to leave the tape on there so that you can pull it off and you can still actually seal it if you wanted to. And then there's another piece underneath, and it's going to be 6x9 as well, and it's going to be like a book. Okay, so just take a piece. I used the piece that I accidentally cut two of, and what did I do there? I've got this backwards somehow when we cut the flaps, so both tabs are on the top. I'm not sure how exactly I did that. I could fix it, but if I did, then it would be backwards like this. So I took that scrap and I made a 6x9 to match this envelope, and we're going to put it on the front, and we're going to make a small envelope stack on this, and then it's going to open, and we'll put papers on the inside of there. We'll glue this to this as a pocket. Okay. Let's see, glue this pocket. Okay. So, all right, we're going to glue on this side. So that means this will be 1. This will be 2, 3. This is going to be glued to here, right? So this is going to be glue. So then this will be 4, 5. Yeah, this is backwards. How did I do it? What did I do? All right. Okay, I guess that's going to be right. 4, 5. These two are going to be glued together here. So we're still going to see this as 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay? So now let's glue this together. We're not going to glue this yet because we want to glue it on his pockets, and we want to glue the envelopes on to this before we stick it on here. Okay. It would look nicer if we left this part up, wouldn't it? But this is the part, and we're going to fold it. And then, you know, it'll open like that. So it will be like that. But, yeah. So let's glue this together. And all we have to do is glue this to that using this gusseted area. Now when I inked and stamped, I went ahead and went with the burlap looking one for like the bag. I think I said that before, that you carry your mail around in. Not the leather bags, but the big burlap, big old-fashioned ones, right? Okay, so then we've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, this is not the way I originally had it planned. It'll work. Okay, and then we can glue this onto here as a pocket. The idea, though, is do I want to do it over here? Which I think I might. If so, I need to stamp that a little bit more. Because I want to, with, you know, the pocket, putting on the pocket. Do I want this over here more, so that the pocket is here, or do I want to move it over this way so that this is centered? Now, I didn't have to stamp this because it's going to be equal to this, but I did ink it so that from the side, you know, it looks the same. I think I want to do this. So let's see what happens if, now this Faded Jeans or Uncharted Mariner, whichever one you decide to use, or whatever color you decide to use anyway. But these blues are super, super duper juicy. I didn't use my stamp pad. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this was that main spot, I think. And right here. I still didn't use the pad. Now this doesn't look very nice, but when we get the card on here, it'll be fine. Or the other folder. And we'll leave just a little bit. We'll go up to this first gusset line and we'll glue this on there. And that'll give us enough room with this pocket. Then we'll glue the envelope on as a pocket. If we do them both from the side, then oh, that'll be fine because this opens. Okay. I was going to say we should do one from the top, but then that's a big long card sliding in, which isn't necessarily the easiest way to go. Okay, so that's all glued together as far as we can go. We've got our ink that's going to show, or our area that's going to show is all inked. And yeah, and that'll work fine. We maybe could have glued this on already. I'm wondering if we should go ahead and do that or not. I don't think there's anything we're going to hook on to this, because we're going to glue this flat on after we've put just a couple envelopes on the front. I'm not going to make it all arched. Okay, so sorry about that. My medicine timer went off. I think we're going to, I'm trying to think, I can't think that there would be anything else we would want to do here. What if we made this an expandable pocket? No, that's going to be too much weight. All right, let's go ahead and glue this on as a pocket. That way I can quit wishy-washying around, huh? That sounds like somebody just came down the stairs and dumped a package right at my front door. Surprised the dog didn't bark. All I heard was thump, 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 whack. In fact, I know it was, because I can hear one of the big trucks pulling away, like a UPS or something. Running out of air when I talk. Okay, so now we know when we've got it straight, because this will be straight. And since it's on the cover, I'm going to leave it up a little bit. I don't think I'm going to push it all the way down to where it's completely centered anyway. So now we'll have, this will open, this will have the small stack on it. So you don't want to make it too heavy. And then we'll have a pocket here. And then this will open. This will open. Let's see. Yeah, this will open, then this will open, and then these will flip back. Then we'll have this big piece here. Not really sure how we were going to have two. I know I did this wrong again, but I think we're supposed to glue one with the yeah, I wanted to leave this blank and then I messed up, so I think I'll go back probably and stamp this. That way it'll be even, and you know, if I put some paper there. I think what I did wrong was I glued 3 to 3. I should have glued the 3 gussets to the flat side of the other one, because see, now I've got this going on here in the middle. Can you see that? Like that, instead of a flat fold. So that's what's wrong. So I don't know how I glued it that way, but I did. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Bye-bye.